when The Rise of Skywalker came out in 2019, they said that that was the end of the Skywalker saga. Everything that had started from 1977 with A New Hope had wrapped up in a very disappointing movie, in my opinion, a very disappointing end to the Skywalker lineage. Since then, there really hasn't been any sort of like Star Wars movie that pertains to the Skywalkers. There's been a lot of shows, as you know. The Acolyte had just come out and has recently been canceled, and that was a huge topic of discussion. We have talked about Arms at Length over at Geek Fives Nation. Other channels have as well, about how things just aren't looking too bright on the live action side of Disney Star Wars. I always like to say that I enjoy the, animated stuff, but as far as like the live action stuff, especially the movies, it's not looking too great, right? But we just got news. According to Deadline, Simon Kinberg has been tapped to write and produce episodes 10 through 12. So this is not a separate Rey movie. This is not prequels. This is not offsets or anything. This is legitimately, they are continuing the saga, episodes 10 through 12. Now, there is not a lot of information other than that. We don't know if this is continuing the Skywalker story. We don't know if this is going to be continuing with Rey or anything. It is literally just Simon Kinberg, and he's going to write and produce episodes 10 through 12. So it's a little sketchy because Acolyte wasn't great in my opinion. And I thought that, did a lot of not great things when it came to canon. So with The Acolyte having been the most recent live action Disney Star Wars, it makes me a little nervous that they're going to be doing episodes 10 through 12. Rise of Skywalker already kind of screwed things up by bringing Palpatine back. The Last Jedi screwed things up with what they did with Luke Skywalker. At this point, what other character is really around for them to screw up? I don't know. I it is crazy, right? I'm trying to sit there and even think like what would they do with episodes 10 through 12? Would it take place directly after Rise of Skywalker? Would we follow Rey? Would there be a new Jedi Order? Would Finn finally realize that he has force abilities and they would do that? Or is this going to jump ahead in the story and maybe we deal with characters that we've never seen before? Me personally, if it were up to me, I throw out episodes 7 through 9 and just make, I guess, episodes 10 through 12 the real sequel trilogy. I've gotten really into reading Heir to the Empire, which was the original Thrawn trilogy, and that was actually an amazing way to continue what we saw after Return of the Jedi. That's just me. That would have been awesome, right? Like actually do it good would have been cool, honestly. In the books, Leia is pregnant with twins. And so, okay, if you want to continue after Rise of Skywalker, obviously that's canon. Maybe have that Kylo Ren had a sister and then have her come in. Maybe if you really want to go balls to the wall, right? Because Rey is technically a Palpatine. Everyone is making this a hero's triumph, but essentially it's just a story of a Palpatine that is taking the Skywalker's name. Have Rey fully fall to the dark side, and Kylo's sister has to defeat her. I don't know. That's a bit of a crazy idea, but I don't know what you're going to do. At this point, I feel like fans kind of feel burned out by things, and there's not a lot of faith going around that those behind Disney Star Wars are going to do any better. I think The Acolyte really kind of showed that. But Simon Kinberg did work with Dave Filoni on Rebels. I am personally a huge fan of Rebels. I mean, I would love to get a live action Kanan Jarrison, even though that takes place before the events of the sequel trilogy. And I doubt they would do another prequel trilogy because then that would just get confusing for people, myself included, honestly. But I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, with there being so much time in between, say, like the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, would there even be the opportunity to bring in cameos, or would this have to be something completely different? I think if you really want to get fans back, you need to show that the people behind these projects actually really love Star Wars and have done their homework. I would suggest introducing in some way, if you can, the rule of one with Darth Krayt, things like that. I want to see really cool Sith, honestly. I mean, I really like the original trilogy. I love the prequel trilogy. Clone Wars is my favorite era of Star Wars and the show favorite of all time. But I have been really getting into the Old Republic with the books and the game, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I need to see some cool Sith. I need to see some really cool Sith and not just wrinkled old Palpatine sitting on a throne going, the path to the dark side, unnatural, deemed whatever. That's it. But this is just, I wanted to say that they are making episodes 10 through 12. We have no idea what they're going to be about. There's probably going to be years before there's any additional information on it. Who knows what could happen? Do you guys remember when the guys behind Game of Thrones literally were supposed to do a trilogy? They kind of screwed themselves over with that abysmal freaking eighth season of Game of Thrones, but that's neither here nor there. We have no idea. It's a lot of speculation, and for all we know, it could be awful, but for all we know, it could be amazing. That's it, really, honestly. If it were me, Disney is not going to decanonize their, sequel trilogy, but I think they should definitely lean into whatever resources that they can. There are, what was it? Kathleen Kennedy said something along the lines that there, unlike Marvel and DC, there was no comic books or book material to go back on. And how wrong is she? There's so many comics, so many books that you can go on. I mean, there is so many cool things that I'm not even privy to that happen taking place after Return of the Jedi. So go read a book and do some research. And hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be good. And they get directors that actually do their homework and don't want to make another cut and paste version of A New Hope. And that's just my hot take there. But anyway, yeah. So Simon Kinberg will write and produce episodes 10 through 12. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, I know Skeleton Crew is going to come out soon. I mean, it looks young for kids and everything, so I don't want to be harsh about it. I really dislike the Acolyte. I tried to give it a chance, but I'm kind of happy in living my little bubble where I'm just reading the books and playing the video game. There's a lot of drama going on in the Star Wars community, and there's a lot of drama also going on in the Star Wars movies and TV shows. So I'm just gonna sit here and play my happy little game. But anyway, what do you guys think? Please make sure that you are liked and subscribed. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I can. And if you like more news sort of things, let me know. I'm still trying to figure out what I even am doing with this channel when it comes to Star Wars. But in the meantime, thanks everyone. Bye.